so now I get to say good morning. Come on, come on, come on. Good morning. Thank you. It is really weird and also lovely to see all of you again. Truly, it's been so long. I'm like getting used to it again, but it is, I don't know, I'm like, my heart is very full standing up here, so I'm gonna try not to cry too much. I have a lot to say about the last 9 months, and you know I'm gonna say it eventually, but right now, the first thing I wanna do, honestly, is just say thank you. Thank you first and foremost to the board of last year and the sabbatical committee who worked so tirelessly to hold the center of this place in my absence. You did unbelievable work, and I'm sure I speak for everyone when I express endless gratitude. Thank you to all the people involved in Sunday services, making it such a special time. The Sunday associates, the lay preachers, the greeters, the AV folks, the online support volunteers. I've been told over and over, like every conversation I have been told how amazing Sundays were this past year. And I honestly could not be more pleased or more proud of the work that you all did. I also have to say thank you, only Ron is here this morning, but thank you to our wonderful staff who continued in their hard work. I'm so glad to be back with them, supporting them and being inspired by them. And to thank you, honestly, to every single one of you. Every facilitator, every head of a committee, every volunteer for anything, every attendee, every single one of you, you are this congregation. I've always said that ministers come and go, but the people remain, and remain you did, showing up for one another and for this place. You kept alive programs that pursue our mission. You did the work of caring for one another, the work of justice, the work of marking sacred time, the work of community building. Thank you. I am happy to be back among you and to learn about everything that you have done over the last 9 months. In a world that feels increasingly mad, this is a place that offers strength, security, and opportunity to deepen ourselves and to rise to the moment. So please, before anything else, accept my gratitude for this past year. One of the things that we do together on Sunday mornings during our service is make time to practice quiet and contemplation, to turn our thoughts both inward and outward as we consider the realities of our lives and this world that we share. Recently, Lily shared with me a study from Science, and I was so struck by it that I really felt compelled to share it with you this morning. The summary reads like this. In 11 studies, we found that participants typically did not enjoy spending 6 to 15 minutes in a room by themselves with nothing to do but think, that they enjoyed doing mundane external activities much more, and that many preferred to administer electric shocks to themselves instead of being left alone with their thoughts. Most people seem to prefer to be doing something rather than nothing, even if that something is negative. You can see why I was struck by this. Self-administered electric shocks rather than sitting quietly with one's thoughts. Perhaps it's human nature, perhaps the result of technology. Lots of questions we could ask about why people behave in these ways. But for today, for this week, after Lily shared this with me, for me it was really a reminder of why we take this time together every Sunday, even if for some of us it can be a challenging bit of time. It was a reminder for me of why we stop and rest for a while as one and sit in quiet together as one. Because it's practice, it's discipline in its own way. It's a chance to learn how not to be afraid of our own minds and hearts and feelings. It's a reminder that seeing ourselves and knowing ourselves, hearing ourselves and loving ourselves in all of our complexity and challenge, that is part of what we are called to do by our participation here. So I'm going to ask you, as I have so many, many times before, take a breath to find the most comfortable position for your body in your space that you can. Aware that each of us possesses a unique body. Breathe in ways that are comfortable for you. As you are able, let your body come to stillness. If it helps to close your eyes and that feels safe, then do. And just breathe. Our world is full of so much. We carry the weight of so many worries. Worry over the climate crisis that affects all of us more and more each day. Worry over the systemic mistreatment of the unhoused and the mentally ill, some of our most vulnerable people. Worry over the racism and oppression of LGBTQ folks that threatens the safety and happiness of our beloveds. Worry over the ongoing strife in the Middle East that has caused incalculable loss and unimaginable pain. Worry over the political landscape. The upcoming election made more complicated by the assassination attempt yesterday. Whatever our leanings, there is no place for violence in our political discourse or in our society. And we carry a worry for what this moment means. And we carry on top of all of that the struggles and pains of our own lives. We hold these in our hearts and in our thoughts as we breathe into the quiet together. And even as our hearts are heavy with worry, we know too the joy and wonder of this world, found in so many forms. In honest and clear and vulnerable communication, in the love and support of family and friends, in the diversity of welcoming communities that celebrate each person, in new life that blossoms on this earth and in our families, in unexpected moments of connection. We celebrate the joy and wonder of our lives as we breathe in the quiet together. Take a breath. May we open our hearts and minds always to the full range of what our lives bring. Facing what is hard with courage, speaking the truth with gentleness, sharing our stories with vulnerability, embracing joy with our whole beings, using our gifts with wisdom and with care, and offering our love with open hearts. So may it be. gift of your music. Thank you. Over the past 9 months, Silas has grown a lot, as babies do. That's kind of their thing. And as human babies do, he has gone from what my dear friend Kate calls the potted plant stage, where they're just kind of there, to the like cruising and moving stage. His was a body at rest, content to lie in our arms and sleep and eat and snuggle. And now he wants nothing more than to be a body in motion. It's an instinct, he's right on track. Different stages of our lives find our bodies and our minds crying out for different states. And also, all throughout our lives, pushing too far in one direction, into either rest or motion, will probably land us in some trouble. There's an expression I grew up with, lethargy breeds lethargy. Does anyone else ever? It might sound pro-productivity, like the saying idle hands are the devil's playground, but I actually think that lethargy breeds lethargy speaks to that first law of physics and simply recognizes that if all we do is rest, we'll find it hard to get going again without some stronger than us external impetus. Today, and for the following 3 weeks, I am preaching about new, old lessons I learned during sabbatical. And this morning, this first one is this. In pursuit of a healthy and happy life, we are called to cultivate a balance between meaningful motion and true rest. In pursuit of a healthy and happy life, we're called to cultivate a balance between meaningful motion and true rest. And I want to be clear about what I mean by meaningful motion and true rest. That angsting and fretting and guilting that I described that I was doing during some of my sabbatical time was not meaningful work. The kind of infrequent, brief self-care that I was getting during my normal pre-sabbatical life was not true rest. For me, I think that meaningful work is what we do together here, the work of self-exploration, of working to change the world, the work of building community. This is meaningful work, which is to say, it is work that I can point to and say I am proud of it, that it lends meaning to my life at large, that it contributes to the meaning of others' lives. The writing projects I began over sabbatical for me are meaningful work. Caring for my family, raising my children, supporting my parents, that to me is meaningful work. We might call it heart work or soul work, whole being work, whether or not it makes money or produces in any traditional sense. Your meaningful work may be different. I'm not trying to tell you what your meaningful work is, just that I think meaningful work is the work that doesn't necessarily bring us unadulterated joy, but the work that makes us feel like our lives are worth living. It needn't be the work that supports us financially. Sometimes that work is just work. But I do think that each one of us needs some kind of meaningful work in balance in order for our lives to feel fulfilling. And we also need opportunities for true rest. And for me, what I mean by that, true rest is actually being able to step back for a time from the things that weigh us down, that press in on us. We cannot turn off the world, we can't turn off our responsibilities, but we have partners, friends, family, communities that can shoulder our load for a while and allow us the mental and emotional room to actually stop. That, I think, is true rest. Being able to do something just for fun, just for pleasure, just because, and not also be answering emails at the same time. That's true rest. And because our culture is the way it is, based on a sense of individuality and the idea that we should be able to handle all of it alone, we often need to practice true rest before we can remember what it feels like to let go like a child with trust in others and with the conviction that we deserve a chance to stop and rest. The old lesson is that the balance between meaningful work and rest matters, and the newly remembered nuance is that so much of this is about trust. Trust and a sense of our own worthiness. We have to trust those around us to help with the work and to help with the rest, because we can't find the balance alone. We have to love ourselves enough to counteract the message of our capitalist society that says that to stop or to be still or to just exist in a state of rest and care is unacceptable. We have to trust each other, and we have to love ourselves. Because each of us is designed to be a body in motion and a body at rest. And each of us, and I don't use the word deserve lightly, each of us deserves that balance. I think it is our shared responsibility to figure out how to offer that balance to each other, encourage it in each other, and learn how to claim it for ourselves. Thank you for being people that I could trust, and thank you for trusting in me. May we have love enough, courage enough, strength enough to find the meaningful work and the true rest for our moving and resting selves, and to love each other and trust each other into that balance. So may it be.